Welcome to Lifestyle by SK, where wine, cigars, and relationships create a tapestry of extraordinary experience. And in today's video, we're going to get into a topic because today, of course, is Father's Day. So, most definitely, happy Father's Day to the fathers out there across the world that are doing the thing. Definitely want to make sure that we get that out of the way first. And we definitely want to make sure, if you don't get anything else out of this message, because I specifically wanted to do this for Father's Day. But if you don't get anything out of this message, just know that fathers aren't just wanted; they're needed in the home. Period. Not just dads. And this is definitely for the men who are actively out there involved in their children's lives. Now, specifically, the way that we would like to look at it is that the woman and man, husband and wife, are together in the home, raising the kids together as a unit. But with this being Father's Day, I definitely felt it within my heart to provide a much more powerful and purposeful message to the men that are out there. And so, for the fathers out there, we need you all. We need the dads. We need the fathers. We need a message that must be heard to us out here. But let's be extremely clear, and let's be clear in this episode, because I wanted to really hit many of you out there who may not be as involved as you are in your child or children's life. I want this message to most definitely hit. So it's most definitely sincere. But let's be clear about it. This message is for the real fathers that are out there. And I'm not just talking about the ones who write their names on the birth certificate and you never see them again. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is the real ones who write their names on their children's heart, because the kids see this and they show this through every single day through love. And from the previous videos I've done where I talked about marriage, the household, and everything, I'm always talking about bringing couples together. And I specifically talk a lot about the Black community because I want to see much more messages get elevated to move the culture up and not down. But for the fathers out there who are there every single day, that's through love, they're showing it through leadership in the house unapologetically, and they're consistent. And just know that if you are doing those things, you are more than just important. You are needed within the home to make sure that you are there for the child and the children, and that you and your spouse are there together with the kids. But in the homes, in the lives of the children that are around, when fathers are there, it creates a structure within the community. And we are missing the days of the community being together as one to make sure that the kids are doing what they are supposed to do. But how can you have that without the fathers being there? And so before you can do things for other kids in the community, let's start at ground zero. The foundation of the home. The foundation of the home is so important because a home without a father feels like there's definitely cracks in the foundation. And we all know when there's cracks in the foundation, the house doesn't stand for too long because it moves farther and farther apart. And that structure becomes weaker. And just by simple logic, that emotional floor creeps and creaks with insecurity. So, how can we get around that? Well, when you have the fathers present in the kid's life, and I'm not talking about just present, just stopping by to see your kids on the weekends, but really present there each and every single day. From you're putting them to bed, you're talking with them, you are there in the household every day. You're not missing. Everything feels much more stable. Okay. Now, keep in mind this whole conversation I'm talking to you about is in the midst of the wife being in the home, the woman being in the home, and the dad and the father being in the home as well. Two, I'm not talking about the single mothers that's out there raising the kids. I'm not talking about the single fathers that's raising the kids. I'm talking about two. You both brought them into this world. You both definitely have to be there. But here's the thing that most definitely gets talked about a lot. It's not just about the money, and it does take money to raise kids, but it's not just about the money aspect. It's your presence, fathers, really makes a big difference in your children's life, because your presence is the difference between chaos. It is the difference between the calm and confusion and confidence. And there are better ways that you can do that. But let me just make sure that we understand this here. You being there gives your kids an example of not just of a man within the house, but what a man should do, what a man needs to do. If you are man enough to sleep around with the women, to you all come together to create the children, you all most definitely have to be there. If you don't think you're going to do that, don't mess up somebody else's life, bring kids into the world and you're not with them. And things happen, but we have to really vet the type of people that we're dealing with before you start to have children. The things that we have to do is we have to vet and make sure, is this the right person? Because once you do, could you see yourself spending the rest of your life with that person? Now, as we move through this, and when you bring children into this world, what that creates is that creates a legacy. And what man would not want a legacy? Because think about this: the seeds that you all plant, man, you don't build a legacy after you die. You build it while you are living. You have to be there with every hug. When you wake up in the morning, you hug your family, every connection that you have with your kids, every word of encouragement when they may feel down. Legacy is a small amount of moments that your child knows. And it's more than just a trust fund. It's more than just a will. It's more than you just leaving thousands of dollars around. But a child knows when they wake up in the morning, they know when they're if their dad is in the house or not. And that right there is why it matters. Every child thinks in their mind, my dad is here and I matter. That is a powerful thing. And while this can go for all men on the planet, I'm most definitely speaking to my brothers out here, because we have so many people outside of the community that look into the black community, and you don't see as much as you should the black fathers being around due to all kinds of circumstances that are there. But we have to understand that when we bring our children into the world, we're creating our legacy. Think about this, man. Too many kids are growing up emotionally homeless because their dad is not there. And even if they have a roof over their head, because that man meant to guide them is absent. So yes, you may be paying for a house that your kids live in afar, but imagine what it would be like in that child's mind if you are actually there. And see, Father's Day is not just about getting gifts. It's not just about you getting taken out to eat. It's not about just that. But if you are a father who's in it for real, you're most definitely building a legacy that needs to be built. And that legacy will always outlive you if you are involved in that manner. Now, when you're looking at the legacy, you also look at, okay, that father's going to be the first line of defense if anything happens, because let's be honest, the world is coming for our kids. Time and the weather does not stop for anyone. Things change, seasons change. The world is coming for our kids. Confusion, identity crisis, broken values, no direction. And the first line of defense in their household is not a program or a policy, it is a father in the home. That is the absolute first line of defense, because when you're in a house, your child doesn't have to search the internet for an identity. They don't have to search their friends for identity. They don't need to look to music, media, social media, or influencers to define love or manhood and strength. They should be looking to you for that in the home, because they are watching you each and every single day. How many times have you seen kids who have had fathers who live in the same neighborhood and they don't even see them? And seeing, we talk about the glitz and glam when it comes to Father's Day, but we don't talk about the real meaning of it within the community. But we have to know that the men that are out there in their child's life, that security makes a big difference, because you're able to set rules, you're able to set regulations, you're able to set the foundation of how your household should become. So that way, when you're raising up your sons and your daughters, you're telling them what they're supposed to or could experience out in the world. So when they get out there, they're not lost. They have values and foundations that you set within them. And this works in collaboration with the mothers being there as well. But specifically on Father's Day, we are talking specifically 100% about the men. The women are understood, but the men, this is for you all. So for the fathers out there that is doing the work, we see you. We see you as we walk through the stores. We see you as we maybe going for a walk in the neighborhood. We see you when we go to sporting events. We see you when we go to the park. We see you. And the men out there that really care, definitely salute you for it, because guess what? They're the ones who sacrifice a lot, who showed up tired but still give time. This has to hit people, because who don't just discipline, but who disciplines? As we look into this, we have to understand that who don't just demand respect, but they actually model it as they're moving throughout life. Because keep in mind, the kids are watching you. The fathers out there, you are healing generations by being consistent with one. It's not just taking your kids out, buying them the latest shoes, buying them the latest games, taking them to the restaurants to get food every time they ask. It's more than that. We have to move forward. As I was looking at a couple of things online, and and the stats have changed so for over the course of time. But when I looked at the percentage of black men out there, and I'm specifically talking about, with Father's Day overall, fathers to all over the world, but when I'm specifically looking within the black community specifically itself, only 34% of the men are actually married. 34% and 51% have never married overall. And that's compared to the 48% of men in the US that are married versus the 34 that have never been married. And as we look at this, you may not get the credit that you think that you deserve. It may not come when you want it, but you may not get a parade of folks going around you trying to keep your head pumped up all the time. But just understand, if you're doing what's right every single day, you are a hero to your household. You're a hero to the children. You're a hero to your offspring. But your daughters are watching how you treat women. Men, let me say that again to the men. Your daughters are watching how you treat women out there if you have a daughter. And please believe your sons are watching how you walk as a man, because when you put those two together, you are the blueprint. Nothing gets built without the blueprint. And this isn't just a Father's Day message, it's most definitely a call. And I really hope this message reach the brothers out there that are not, but a call for more men to return to their post. That post is home. So whatever you're doing out there, whatever you think you're doing, step up. Step into the home, because it takes the heart, and it's most definitely going to be a fight, because overall fathers are not optional. They are critical to the structure of the family. And I want you to know in your heart that you got this. I need you to move quickly and get this done. So to every man out there, if you are in your child's life, stay there and don't let nobody pull you from your post. And if you're not, you got to get back in position. Your homeboys got to help you get back in position. And there's some stepfathers that are out there who are with women whose kids are not theirs. They're stepping up in this, but I'm talking about the biological fathers that are out there, because we need you out there. The family needs you. And most definitely the future needs you, because this generation is going to keep going and going and going. So overall, happy Father's Day to you all out there. Continuously create your legacy. The children need you, because the world, no matter where you are, is coming. It's coming to the kids. And the question is, are you on your post to protect it? So the fathers out there, everybody, like, listen, subscribe to the channel. Lifestyle by SK, where wine, cigars, and relationships create that tapestry of extraordinary experience. You all, to the next time, have a good one.